to Athletics LLC with Lamar, Lucious, Big League Chew, and my man Clyde. You're about to be schooled in all things track and field. This is experience. Yes, sir. We are talking past, present, future. Y'all listen up. Let's go.
We're back. Yay! Athletics LLC. Woohoo! Another fun episode. Triple digit official. Thanks for all the congratulations and for the viewers that have literally been here since episode 1. There's actually like quite a few. I've gotten quite a few messages. I don't know about gentlemen if you have or not. And we had quite a few comments on that episode. So fun stuff, fun stuff. Well, welcome one, welcome all. Governor, you're looking mighty tropical right now. I'm a little jealous.
It's my birthday.
Is it really?
And
is it really your birthday?
I am speaking.
Yes.
I'm
Happy
speaking
birthday,
this into existence. I will be on a boat at some point. Okay. I can't say when, but this is me. And I'm on a boat.
Wait, but we have to specify that you're like on a big boat, like a grand boat. We're not doing dinghies, no dinghies.
Yes. Registered to the Cayman Islands. Okay. This is Cayman Islands water. If you don't understand, this is clear. This is the good stuff. Mr. Lamar knows all about it.
Oh my God, yes, I do.
He has felt the glorious comfort of Cayman Islands waters.
Wow.
You can sit down. You can sit down in that water, and a stingray will literally go right across your lap.
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah. Happy birthday.
First off, yeah, happy birthday. I
Thank you.
missed that boat completely.
It's okay. It's okay. Who's counting? Who's counting, right?
I know at this point, right? At this point, it doesn't matter. Clyde, how are you, sir?
Well, happy birthday to the governor.
Thank you. Thank you.
I got my permissions updates on my work computer. So you see, I got lovely new backgrounds too. You know what I mean? And
I see.
You're out of detention now.
and you know, all I ask tonight is no violence for jokes.
Good.
Too soon. Way too soon.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Before we see our hands coming off screens. Lamar, he knows nothing Huffins.
Yeah, I have to.
You dare ask?
I just have to own it, right? Like, I feel like I probably watched more college basketball this year than all of you combined. And my bracket was literally set ablaze, I think 2 weeks ago, and it just was ended with rest in peace this past weekend. So yeah, I know nothing about basketball.
With the happenings or mishappenings of basketball, like it might as well just be done. like no, we've all lost track at this point.
Oh man, it's just wild. Wild.
Last but not least, Sir Lucious. Welcome, sir. How are you tonight?
I am feeling much better than I was a week ago. I truly apologize for my early departure, but trust me, you needed me to depart. It's getting bad. Also want to say happy birthday to the governor. I did not realize that you shared the same birthday as my youngest brother, so that's pretty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But now I get it. You guys have the same demeanor. You know, he's a lot like you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I get it now.
I dig it. I dig it.
The governor and I are proof that Aries are not all the same.
Some of us are wired different. Yes.
We have a lot of similarities, but I can tell you this: there's a huge difference between a March Aries and an April Aries.
Yes, and my daughter's coming up on the 10th of April, so
I'll say now this is crazy because MJ's birthday is the 10th of April as well.
What?
Yeah, absolutely. That dude will be 21 years old.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's wild.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Man. And we haven't even gotten to the track stuff yet. That's crazy.
I know, we're wowing already. We got to the
I
track.
know, right? All right. Well, as we usually do, per the usual, let's just go head first into track is back because sheesh. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3 of us were there to witness that madness that they called Texas Relays this past weekend, which I still feel like I'm recovering from, by the way. But it's
yeah, the governor and I discussed that earlier. Yeah, we're still in recovery mode as well.
Absolutely.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm definitely a little more vibrant at this point, but I don't know what day it is.
Well, see, and the problem I have is today's the best I felt. Florida Relay starts in like 12 hours. So.
Yeah.
I'll probably, I'll do my best not to have to check out next week.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll open the doors up for Texas Relays, but I mean, where do you even start about what happened?
I'll throw out a where do you start. Listen, relay season, as I call it, other people call it a bunch of different things. Regular season meets in the NCAA world. They're fun, they're entertaining. You got the whole country picking and choosing their spots to get it in. As magnificent as Texas Relays was, Raleigh Relays on the distance side, spectacular, right? For me, overall, Texas Relays was about the Texas women. Like, they threw down markers all over the place. And it was really impressive to see. They clearly wanted to make a statement and went out there and did just that. So, props to the Texas women. They were phenomenal across the board.
So every Texas Relays that I've been to, and we're talking from 1991, something has happened. Something seismic has happened. Something that, it's all at the same time. It's head scratching, it's mind blowing. And then reality sets in and you're like, wait a minute. We haven't even gotten through March yet.
Facts.
Right? And that's the part that we saw multiple times this weekend. Like, okay, do we not have to get through till June? Like, do we not have to sustain until June? And yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these numbers and I'm like, okay, we saw 990, we saw 1082, we saw 1083, we saw 2169. That was a pro. 1233, 1249 in the hurdles. Like, what?
1233 and 1234.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
1245. Yeah. So there's a lot of running there. Yeah.
Insane. Insane stuff.
I think
so.
Like Gabby Thomas was super impressive for me.
Yeah.
I still think you can tell she's trying to clean up some things, and she's working really hard at it. But I don't care what the win is. 1092 and 2169 the same day is spectacular.
It's a hell of a day.
And what's her training partner's name? The little girl from Alabama.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Tamara Clark.
Yeah,
Tamara Clark.
Yeah.
She's 1096 and 2172.
Right there. Right there.
I will call Bolgerdash on anybody that says they saw that coming.
Well, you know what though? You know what was really impressive about Tamara Clark? It's not like she can't beat Gabby. She hasn't learned how to win those races at that level yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really impressive to watch her be like right there at that time of year with that double.
Yeah.
And so Tanja obviously has a lot going on down in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
Getting it done. Just getting it done. I too was, very impressed with the Texas women. but the A&M women were impressive as well. Miss Destin, she jumped 6'4".
Yeah.
And then they also ran 322, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then they broke the collegiate record in the sprint medley, but nobody's talking about it because everybody's talking about Texas because Texas was at home on their home track. But A&M
Yeah.
won that race and they broke the collegiate record. You know, their own collegiate record at that. You know,
Yeah.
so
Uh,
they were ultra impressive.
And I need people to understand really quick, just to jump in on that. Anytime Texas A&M breaks a record of theirs that included a thing Mo, you just need to understand. Like
right.
Mo wasn't, but that wasn't a thing Mo record.
she wasn't on their sprint medley?
No.
Oh, that's right.
That-
She wasn't. She wasn't. That's
No.
right. That's right.
That was a race with them and someone on LSU's track. That's when the little
Okay.
bitty one was on the anchor leg. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
So speaking of markers, this stood out to me from Texas. If anybody didn't know that Carmelita was going to be an issue, it's an issue.
Oh, hold on a second. I did not call this a while back.
You did. It's a whole ass issue now. Okay. So
I mean, right. Indoor NCAAs was not a fluke, folks. Pay attention.
Right.
true. And here's the thing with indoor NCAAs. Indoor NCAAs was about the men, and a lot of those dudes were, transfers and all of that. So it didn't get the respect that it deserved, right? For Solera Barnes, another transfer, to step out 1082.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was slightly windy or whatever the hell. I don't care. Like just barely.
Well, no. It was big win. It was like 3 points something, I thought.
Well,
we were in this. No. The prelim she ran 11-0 legal. That's
right. There you go.
That's the run you talk about, right?
But Samara Moody is a freshman,
Mm-hmm.
and who also ran 11:08. So Jet threw down a little marker of her own out there in Texas, and those ladies are, they look incredible. I've never seen Solera Barnes look like that. Like,
well, no, because you've never seen it because she hasn't. She hasn't. I mean, like it's okay. Look, I'm gonna call her baby JS because she of all of his pupils, she not only coaches, like she just has his demeanor in the warm-up area, the whole deal. Like she is locked in.
Yeah. And
they are locked in. Like from the warm-up to the walk to the clerk, it's JS to the T.
Mm-hmm.
And it's masterful to watch. She did a phenomenal job. And I was talking to our boy DA the other day, and people better recognize when they get healthy, their 4x1 men's is a problem too. Yeah. You had 3 guys in the 60 final.
Yeah.
Right. So they're gonna show up and run. Right?
It's funny. I bumped into Quincy. I was sitting in the stands, and I turned to him and I said, "You realize that 30 years ago, in that stadium over there, you did some incredible things. You know that, right?" And he looked at me and he was like, "Yeah, I did that."
Because he did, yeah.
Because he did.
Yeah.
But as going back to what Sir Lucious was talking about, watching Carmelita in the warm-up area, I got a chance to watch her, down in the, because was it me or did Florida and USC basically use that strip on the
Listen, if you ain't in there early, you ain't getting it. You know how it is.
No. We were out on the stadium.
They were out in the
there was a strip out there, and like people were using it to sit on and stretch. So somehow I became the guy that had to get it clear up. I don't know who nominated me for that, but we got it clear. And there's a couple other schools that jumped in there with us, but predominantly it was us at USC that were wearing it out. So yeah.
So I saw John Smith. He was there with Talu. Talk to him a little bit, and then I go down, and then I see Jet doing Jet, and I'm like, okay, all righty, definitely locked in.
So, look, the Texas relays were spectacular as usual, and we're going to talk about lots of other things that happened this past weekend. But I just want to say this for the record. The most impressive thing that happened this weekend nobody has talked about, nobody is talking about, and it happened basically before Texas Relays barely got started. Anna Hall opening up her collegiate season outdoors at 6,400 plus. And listen to me carefully as I say this slowly so you can hear me. Running 204 in the 800 of a heptathlon was flat out ridiculous. More ridiculous than all the like before noon craziness that happened with the 38 in the middles and the 42 in the middles and the 990s. All those things were amazing. But to open your outdoor season at 6,400 points with a really subpar javelin, a subpar high jump for her, and then just, let me drop this 204 on you because coach said I should. What in the name of Beelzebub is that?
Well,
Like, look.
Let's call this what it is. Anna Hall is a generational talent. She's the unicorn you guys talk about. And look, I will be the first to tell you, I'm blessed. I've had my share of unicorns, and I hope I keep getting them, right? So, but like with Anna, like there's a lot more there. We had this stupid cross win in the 200 that she ran the first 100 into a headwind basically. They held her to 23 high because she's in much better shape than that. She's on her way to 13 low in the hurdles and just kind of lost her rhythm. Like you said, the javelin was very what she's capable of, and we know the high jump is better. So her ceiling is incredible, and we just got to keep pushing her to those things. But I too was. I was traveling, I wasn't there the first day. I was traveling there the second day, and we got delayed. So as I get off the plane, I open up my phone and I see these marks. I was like, oh my God. And, so we were all sitting on, we're actually walking down the tarmac, walking down the whatever off the plane, watching the splits come up for the 800. Like, well, what's she going to run? So I actually got to talk to her right before she went to the line right after the plane landed. So, she went out a little bit harder than I needed her to, but she ran 204, so I shut my mouth.
So for those who may not be fans or truly follow the heptathlon, as we have our specialists that do, put Anna Hall's 800 in full context at the end of a multi-competition. The number one 800 meter runner in the U.S. right now for NCAAs is Anna Hall at 204. Now I don't really know. I feel like that's unfair somehow, but it is true. She is number one on the list.
I need people to understand something. That is the equivalent of running 204 after 2 days work in practice, because from step one, there's not another human being running at the rate you're running. If you run 204 in a hep, literally the gun goes off and everybody goes, they line up behind you like, let her go. Nobody messing with that. Right. And so like, look, folks, there are people we never talk about, right? We never talk about Jackie. You know what I mean? Like nobody's going to do Jackie things. There are a few of those people in our sport. And I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say she's going to break Jackie's records, but I need everybody to understand that she may have the talent to do so one day, because there isn't anything she can't do. She's not really approaching her ceiling in anything, including the 8.
Yeah. See,
because heaven help the world if somebody else decides that they're going to run 205 or 206 and try to run with her. Right. Because then she had it's easier then, right? Somebody else is with you. So I just need everybody to enjoy it. We all got to watch Grant when he was in college, right? It's like, enjoy watching this for free, because you won't get to see this for free very long.
Yeah.
Anna ceiling is, there is none. And I am not sure that if she trained for the 800 every day, she wouldn't be the NCAA champion. That's how good she is.
Wow.
I mean, she just we've got some pretty good quarter milers on this campus, and when they decide to get after each other in practice, it's a sight to be seen. You know, and she's just right there with them, and sometimes she takes them to the cleaners. You know, she's very special, and you know, we're taking it personal to make sure that she gets to where she's supposed to be, because, you know, I'll say it, there were a lot of naysayers out there that said she should have never came here. Well, touche. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, touche.
Shame on them.
Yeah, and you know,
So-
like the EP mentioned the craziness that was the 4x1s, right? Like Texas didn't run as fast in the final, but those young ladies ran 42:42 at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you and I were there,
9:30,
like, you
folks.
know, yeah, like it wasn't more,
Nope.
right?
No, it was
It
not.
wasn't more.
Well,
No, not at
So
all.
somebody out in the internet world mentioned, oh, they didn't run as good in the final. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I wasn't there. The final of the 4x1 was after the collegiate record in the 4x2, was it not?
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, hell,
They
The
broke
4x2 was
They broke the
about
collegiate record in the
45
4x2?
minutes before.
I'm pretty sure they did.
It
129.
was more than an hour. It was more than an hour because I like the 4x2 was at 12 and the 4x1 was at 1:30 because our men did the double.
And
I didn't realize they broke the collegiate record in the 4x1.
4x2.
4x2. I mean, I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, you know, what else?
Well, not just that. It was way windier on day 2.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yes.
was.
Oh, wait. One more point of note for me from the Texas relays. The best video I saw from the Texas relays is not on the track. It was in the stands. And shout out to my boy Gabe Sanders at Boston University
Yeah.
for his young man, freshman from, I believe, Great Britain. I will not even attempt to pronounce his name because I don't want to be
Don't do it.
disrespectful.
Toby.
Toby,
go.
there you go, Toby. Yeah.
There you go, Toby. Super windy. I don't care. You've never seen somebody from that school run that fast. Okay, so huge win over a quality field and setting down his own marker. He's not scared of anybody. He knows how to run. Gabe is doing a great job with that kid. And I think, you know, by the end of the season, he's gonna make some noise, piss off a lot of people in the East region. And then once you get to the show, you will see what's
Why
what.
is he gonna piss off a lot of people in these regions? He only gets one spot.
Hey, because no one saw him coming. Very few
Oh
people.
no,
saw
I
him.
hold on a second. I knew he was there.
Yeah, but you're
And
a highbrow
you
studier.
know what? And I'm gonna do what I do, and like I'm very impressed, but we're not scared. We'll see him when we see him.
I mean, no one is.
I'm just saying. I'm taking. You know, I've had some of these same conversations with other people. You know, like, you know, what are you gonna do about that? Look, I mean, it's not football. I can't like pass the ball when I'm supposed to run it. It's not basketball. I can't go to the 4-court offense. I'm gonna put my people on the track and get them to run 9-9.
That wasn't directed in your.
No, I didn't say it was. But hold on a second. You said, you know, I'm in these regions.
You are. You are. Along with 500 other people.
Choose not in the East region. The governor's not in the East region, and Lamar's in baseball. Right. So clearly, and look, and you know, Gabe's my guy. I love Gabe, and I'm telling you right now, that dude is good.
Mm-hmm.
Gabe is
He's
coaching
very,
his butt
very
off.
good.
So we are all in the East region. Better step up our game because it means there's 11 other spots left, right?
Oh yeah.
But
Exactly.
you're poking the bear, man. You don't even know you're doing it. You're just
Actually, somebody poked
he
it before
absolutely
you did.
he absolutely knows he's doing it.
Oh, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Now see,
Look, there's
and
no
what did I
surprise
tell y'all
here
at the
at
beginning?
all. Got no surprise here at all.
So I
But
know that
shout out to Gabe, shout out to Toby. You know, like they got it done. You know,
But
like,
you gotta find
what
the
about
video.
the
like the video is
yeah,
incredible of Gabe in
but
the
the
stands. like,
the guy that ran 990 in the legal in the prelim.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
As a
You know,
mighty.
it's like, you know, like we're sitting there and he runs and it's effortless and the clock stopped and we're like, that can't be right.
Mhm.
Oh, it was right. It just looks so
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And then I turn to somebody and go, you won't see him tomorrow.
That's
And I don't know who I don't know who's coaching there, but whoever it is, it's not just him. They got other kids that are running well,
Yeah.
very well.
West
And
Texas
speaking
A&M.
of coaching, David Oliver is coaching his
Woo!
That
Yes,
4x4.
Wee!
4x4. He had
Yeah.
a girl run 11:25.
Yes.
He had another girl run 57:3. David's coaching.
Yeah, he is.
Coaching. And
So-
I had the opportunity to spend about, we talked a lot this weekend, but we spent about 15 minutes talking about the attitude of athletes. And you could see the hair on the back of his neck rise up. And then you knew why he was who he was as an athlete.
Mhm.
That was one of my favorite moments. I got to spend some time with some of my favorite people, Chew and the governor included, this past weekend. But that 15-minute period with him, like I walked away, I was ready to go run. He was fired up. He was fired up.
Put me in, coach.
Hey, when
Exactly, for
you
me,
when you flip something into the version that you wanted it, and you got the right people in place,
Yeah.
it
Yes.
gets exciting. It gets fun.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
Howard girls they've been rolling since indoor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a show by Dio.
And they will definitely chip away at some people in the East region as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will.
Can we talk about the 1233 though? Can we talk about 1233 from this?
Well, I mean, I think that, as a hurdle coach and somebody that loves the event, I mean, the 33 and the 34 were both masterful. I mean, they're not as easy as people think because of the win, especially in Armstrong's case, because she's much bigger than Kenny, right?
Mhm.
So she's getting blown into the things. And if you watch the thing, Armstrong's feet were incredible. If you talk about, making a statement like, hey, yeah, I false started indoors, but guess what? We ain't indoors anymore, because I knew she was going to run fast. Because if you go back and watch the preliminary, she ran 12:90 something in the preliminary, and she was not running.
Mm.
She was just jogging down the track, and Kenny, for the most impressive thing Kenny did was not the 12:33. It was she ran 22 low in the 200.
I was gonna say 22 low.
But like at 140, she's right there with
Yes.
Clark.
Yeah.
And so for me, okay, Kenny's the world record holder. We all understand how phenomenal Kenny is. Kenny and Aaliyah Armstrong could not be built differently as athletes.
Mm-hmm.
So the last time Dennis Shaver in the LSU program had somebody built this way, rolling like that, was Jasmine Stowers. And it was when she was a pro. But if you remember a few years ago, Jasmine Stowers came out early season and dropped 12 threes and looked like the world record was just on notice. And she lost that rhythm later in the year, and it started turning into a lot of crashes. If Miss Armstrong can stay, keep her rhythm and stay tight when the race is on, it's going to be really, really exciting across the board. Because the other hurdlers in the NCAA who can challenge her, Miss Stark being, the primary candidate, they're built very different. They race very different. They do things differently. And it's going to be really exciting to see when everybody lines up how it ultimately plays out. But, and that was as smooth as a women's hurdle race can be.
Yeah.
Kenny gets it done with a lot of power and force. She's a small person. But Armstrong has to stay small and get away from the hurdles and hold herself together. And it was beautiful watching.
It was masterful. It was masterful. And that was one of those, like, she got to hurdle 5, you're like, this is going to be fast.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
I
fast.
wonder, here's what I wonder. How does this affect recruiting? What are you telling a kid coming out of high school that has dreams and aspirations
You
going in
tell
there?
them,
Okay, like my thing is this is like, and I get asked that question a lot, and I'm like, it doesn't affect recruiting at all. Like, okay, you sit in the living room and you're honest with what you think they can do, right? Because obviously everybody can't do that. I mean, like, I'm not gonna walk into every hurdler's home I go into, so you can break the collegiate record. No, I'm not. Right? No, but like, you go in there and you sell your program and you show what you can do.
Right.
Because by the time most of these kids get to college, Aaliyah and Grace are gone, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
what you would hope it would do in recruiting, Governor, is give recruits and parents and high school coaches perspective.
Yes.
Because 12-3 is fast. 14-3, not so much.
Right.
But they think they deserve the same money.
There you go.
That's the issue.
There you go.
Yeah. And then you got to go back to, and you got to look at, I don't know what Aaliyah ran in high school. But you got to look at that whole deal too. And, you know, and then this is not the first time Dennis Shavers had a great hurdler. It won't be the last.
Mm-hmm.
So we can't ignore the distance, people. Like relay season has nothing to do with distance runners outdoors, but while all the sprinters are out there picking the relay meets and picking the, you know, the races, the distance runners are doing the same thing. And Raleigh relays, just like, it's crazy. So we have Raleigh relays this past weekend. I'm just looking at, I just got the list in front of me. Okay, men's 5K, 1 through 10, 9 of those came out of Raleigh relays. Women's 5K, 1 through 10, Raleigh relays. 10K men, 1 through 10. 10K women, 1 through 10. And now Stanford's up next. Stanford's on deck this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Stanford
then Mount Sac is up 2 weeks after that.
I was gonna say, and then Mount Sac. Yeah.
Like it's an interesting part of the regular season for NCAA track and field. And I know it's not fair because everybody can't afford to go shop for these races, right? But that's why regionals exist, and it's awesome. But during the regular season, like, it's really fun, whatever your niche is, whatever you're a fan of, you know where the hot races are going to be week to week, and you just sit back and enjoy them. Because I mean, my God, like, it's crazy. All of these people ran 28 minutes in the 10K, all of them.
Yeah, I think we saw this trend indoors, and it's going to continue outdoors. Now I'm waiting for the EP to call me and tell me that it's going to take 10:25 to be in the top 48 on the East region or something crazy, right? And I mean, like, when we're talking about not ignoring things, we can't ignore the field events in Texas. Like 22-1 was 7th in the long jump. Something crazy like that.
Stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
With wind.
There's something about
the wind,
that.
and the wind wasn't in favor. The wind was like a crosswind that would swirl from time to time.
It was like, it was coming up as positive winds on some of them, but trust me, it wasn't always positive. Like, it might have caught them like the very end of mid positive, but they were running into it sometimes too. So
Yeah,
it was weird.
2:30 in the high jump matchup, a rematch of the NCAA indoor meet. Same result. The Oklahoma.
And Mr. Edwards in the high hurdles, 13:24.
Yep.
You know, that is the first time I've seen him manage a speed between the hurdles. First time. You know, and he's a problem. If he learns to hold his rhythm, he's a problem. You know, because he is the one guy that can challenge Trey, in my opinion, because he is almost as fast as Trey. Almost.
Speaking of Florida State, Mr. Bowling goes out and runs 10:03, legal, new PB.
Okay, right. That's the story to me. And listen.
Governor out here just throwing alley-oops.
Hey, man, listen. I like Matthew Bowling. I'm a fan of Matthew Bowling. He's doing a hell of a job this season. And props on the new PB. This isn't about Matthew Bowling. This is about his following. Just be clear, people. His PB is now 10:03, which means we are 3 years removed. He still ain't ran sub 10. So stop saying it. It never happened. It's not real. It's not a thing. Don't put it back on Sports Center. Matter of fact, John Anderson, make sure that news never goes on Sports Center. Boy's PB is 10:03. He's #1 in the nation. Props to him, but he is still not a sub 10 sprinter. Stop saying that.
May I say something? EP, would you like to say it for me?
No. Please go right ahead.
10:03 ain't fast, though.
That's cool. I'm with all of that. But that's his PR.
And I'm not. That's
serviceable.
It's serviceable. Daryl Anderson, surf. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not. So before you people start texting and emailing, I'm not hating on Matthew Bowling, because whoever you are that wants to text me, you could run 1003, and I tell you 1003 is bad, because it's not, right? So happy for Matthew. I'm happy for Coach Carroll and her gang. Great run by Matthew. But like, I'm gonna say this again. I've been saying it for years. If y'all will get off that man and let him grow in this sport, he may be something special. But stop putting pressure on that guy. Let's let him be a college athlete and grow into who he is. But now, as soon as he runs 1003, he's going to be the next Olympic champion. At 1003, you can't make the USA final.
Bro, I had a 20-minute conversation with a man I will not name, but he's from Texas.
Oh, Jesus, here we
who
go.
Tried to explain to me that he didn't understand why everybody's saying it's a new PB, because it is.
Oh gosh.
Because that is his best time ever.
That's his best win legal time.
Win legal
Look,
race.
Can we change lanes? Because I want to talk about somebody who has run under 10. And listen, I need everybody to pay attention. Fred Curley is the boogeyman.
Ooh.
Hey.
Ooh wee.
Okay, next person on my list, Fred Curley.
Listen to me, people who watch this show but don't watch this show. Now you need to chime in and pay attention. It has not struck April yet. This man has run 3 times. 44 in the middle, 20:01 or 2, I can't remember which one it is, and 9:99.
That's right.
I need y'all to understand, A, that's a career, first of all. B, it's damn sure a season for any superstar. But C, second place in the 9:99 race was 10:50 something. Second place in the 20 flat race was 21 something. And second place in the 44 middle race was 48.90 something. Folks, this is practice.
That's right.
The man is out here time trialing at medal level performances. The 999, not medals, but I just said
the 20 flat.
By themselves. The point is this. Yes, there's a smidgen of hyperbole there. But at the end of the day, it ain't April yet.
Not April, that's true.
It ain't April yet. This man has run under 10, above 20, and he's 44 in the middle.
Yep.
So, like, look,
the
I'm
question
trying to
is,
tell y'all.
The question is, which lane are we running in?
Right.
22.
The 100-meter guys and the 400-meter guys are all sleepless at some level thinking about Fred. That's why I said Fred's new nickname is the Boogeyman, because he is a problem. That man is a problem. So have at it, y'all.
No, that's a good place. That's a good place to cut. What's next, Chew?
Oh, excuse me. The more silly madness.
It's time.
What's that?
No, It's not time. Relax.
Oh no, no, the silly madness. That's not silly
got
madness.
Excited. Oh my God. I've never seen Clyde get so excited in my life. Oh my God.
The silly sadness is what we're calling the NCAA Final Four in basketball.
Listen,
See?
hold on. Let me do what's appropriate. Let me move.
Oh my gosh, stupid. So
if I only watch with one eye, you're not really gonna ask me no questions, right?
Oh,
yeah, I don't think there's no questions to ask here. It's just plain and simple. None of us know anything about college basketball.
Clearly.
And so we have Duke versus UNC on one side of the coin. We have Villanova versus Kansas. And I think the governor filled us in that is Villanova without their best scorer.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that are we going to just pick who we think is going to win the thing now? Or...
Wait, hold on. Before we get to more picks, But before we get to screwing up more picks, there was a contest going on around here,
Oh my God.
which I'm pretty sure all 5 of us got blank on the Final
Yeah.
Four.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
Like I said, that was my first statement. We all suck. So I'm not sure why we have to discuss this any further.
Because there's still a winner, ain't there? Like, who won?
How could there be? Did nobody won because nobody got anybody in the Final Four?
Did anybody have Kansas in the Final Four? Because that's the only shot
No.
of all these.
No.
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 Oh, I thought we was adding up all the games.
Oh no.
Is it-
For what?
Yeah, nah, okay. So
But
we all
like,
group say,
see, I say I follow the NCAA rules. I'm not allowed to pull out a bracket, so I never did.
But that's actually not true. You can fill out a
you
bracket.
can't bet on it. Don't
You just
bet.
can't bet on it.
No. I can't even fill it out.
Oh wow, interesting.
Interesting.
I know compliance officers that fill it out.
I was gonna say
Not
you can
on
fill it
this
out.
campus. Not on this
Okay,
campus.
so all right, so we all go starting over.
I just
Who's winning?
oh God, we're really gonna do this? Listen, we shouldn't be allowed to prognosticate.
Exactly. Like
about basketball.
here's the thing. Like I think it's going to be a phenomenal weekend. You know, it's God bless Coach K. I wish him all the best. But I have no desire to try to pick this idiocy, to be honest with you. So
All right.
I think
you know
we
what?
need to lick our wounds, go on about our business, and then come on next week and congratulate somebody because you're gonna get it wrong because you're horrible. So
It should tell you what's going on in college basketball, that we're like, this is a massively upset tournament and nobody picked the Final Four, and it's 4 blue bloods.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right.
Like that tells you all that what's going on in basketball right now. Like we're surprised that Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, and Villanova are in the Final Four. Are you serious? Those 4 schools have won national championships in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
All that's true. And so if we're not picking it, I'll just say this. I've watched a lot of the tournament, not a lot of the season. First of all, I was blown away to learn. It was on one of the post-game shows. For all, Duke and North Carolina is probably the best rivalry in college basketball. You could argue it's the best rivalry in college sports.
It's definitely the best one in basketball, that's for sure.
They have never played in the tournament. And now they're going to play in the Final Four for Coach K's last shot at his, utter dominance of the sport, right? Like that's incredible. And with all due respect to the other half of the brackets, that's the only game that matters this weekend. Whoever wins the other game, that's cool and all, but it's about
what it is. If NCAA basketball had a commissioner, that man is sitting in his office going, yes. Yeah. He is
absolutely
fist bumping.
Absolutely.
He is ecstatic. I cannot wait to see what the numbers are for this game. Because let's call it what it is. The country is split in half when it comes to Duke and North Carolina. It's either or. There's no in between.
And to that point, my entire life, I was North Carolina side of that debate, hated Duke, all of it. I am so rooting for Duke. I'm so rooting for Mike.
Right now?
I'm absolutely rooting for Mike.
Look,
I'm going to Mike.
Christian Laettner.
No.
Christian Laettner.
Christian Laettner ain't playing, and I'm rooting for Coach K.
Made me hate Duke, and I still hate Duke. Okay? So I am still going for North Carolina to make it to the final game.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
It's a better story. and what's funny is I can't believe of all people, you are not rooting for that chaos. Like that's the ultimate in petty, right? Your kids rally to send you out on their shoulders, and you fall short to your arch rival. Suck it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Look, I have always hated Duke. I've never hated Coach K, if that makes any sense.
Sure, that makes sense.
I had too much respect for the dude, and he deserves to go out, holding a trophy over his head. Since St. Pete is out, I'm rooting for chaos kind of died when St. Pete lost the game. So I'm all in for Coach K. And let me just say this, because let's be real. We were kind of disrespectful. We ain't even bother to pick the women's Final Four. But
just don't.
No, we was disrespectful. We were disrespectful. So let me say this. I was equally blown away to learn that Gino Auriemma just qualified for his 14th Final Four in a row.
In a row.
You literally stole that out of my mouth. Yeah, that's insane. That is in 14 straight Final Fours.
But it's all go Gamecocks. Ron Staley, let's get it.
Facts.
So we're not gonna pick. We're just gonna let it go.
You know what?
We gotta pick, man. Y'all gotta pick.
You know what?
I'm not.
On
Hey,
a
look,
count,
y'all pick.
on
Y'all
a count
pick
of
what?
three.
I'm not.
On a
picking.
count of three, everybody shout out a team that's gonna win.
I'm with it. Let Chu, you got the countdown.
3.
I say
Hold on,
North
look
Carolina,
on Chu's face.
Kansas.
Look
North Carolina,
on Chu's
Kansas.
face is like, I'm not. I won't do
All
that.
right, Governor says North Carolina versus Kansas. Who wins?
And I think Kansas wins that game.
Okay. I'm going Duke, Villanova. Yes, I know
Out.
the dude's out. I don't care. I don't like Kansas. Duke, Villanova, Coach K goes out on top.
Wow.
Carolina, Villanova, because I don't care either. And Carolina wins.
Spoken by a true ACC.
Absolutely.
Because I someday hope to be in his position, I'm going to root for Coach K to go out on a high note, and there's no way I'm picking against Kansas because Villanova's not beating Kansas, and so Coach K for the victory, baby.
Wow.
Coach K over Kansas.
Wow.
Dude.
So there you have it. Now we jinx my man. He's not going to win now.
I know. You don't want me to say my pick out loud.
No, we should do that.
Kansas getting beat by 30.
So can we give
what you got, Chu?
Can we give
I can't say it out loud.
Why can't you say it out loud?
You can meme it or something. You gotta tell us something.
That's so funny because story for another time. No. Well, I mean, I should so that it actually goes the way I want it to go. But
who you giving a shout out to, Governor?
No, can we give a shout out to Shaheen Holloway?
yes.
Your namesake, Sir Lucious.
Holloway strong, baby.
Just announced he got hired by his alma mater, Seton Hall.
Yep.
He's coming
That's
home.
dope. That's dope.
I mean,
Well deserved.
Look, you talk about someone in the trenches. Like who knew? I didn't know St. Peter's existed. I mean,
Governor, can I be honest with you? When they beat Kentucky, I literally called 2 people and I asked them if St. Peter's was from one of our American islands. I didn't.
That was pretty special, man. Pretty special. So shout out to Shaheen Holloway.
Well, we're giving shout outs to coaches that are well deserved. You know, a lot of times stuff goes by and hirings go by during the tournament and they get glossed over. But I happen to be friends with Dennis Gates. And I'm going to tell you this, y'all. Dennis Gates is, if you had a son that was a basketball player, you would want your son to play like Dennis Gates and to play for Dennis Gates. And when I tell you that him being the new head coach of Missouri is A, incredible news for Missouri, and B, incredibly well deserved, you're talking about a dude from the south side of Chicago who bootstrapped himself, got 2 degrees from the University of California, and then humbled himself to be an assistant and just worked his way up. Like, yes, he worked at Florida State, but he also worked at a couple other spots that nobody else would want to work. And, you know, whatever job it was to have, he worked there. He even worked at his alma mater at the bottom, the bottom level, the bottom coach level. So look, I'm super happy for a lot of the folks that are getting their opportunities in college basketball, because that's the one sport that seems to actually get it. You know, the people who play should have a coach from time to time that looks like them. And college basketball seems to get that.
True.
Who you got, Chew? We're not letting you off the hook.
Duke, Kansas with Duke on top.
See, you made us wait.
That's
5
all right.
minutes for that.
Yeah, no, but so I had to look up St. Peter's, right? So it's in New Jersey. If you
No, I
didn't
know where it is now. I'm just saying. I thought.
I'm just saying for the general public because I didn't know. I hadn't taken the time yet to do it. But I also went on their Twitter, and in their profile it says smashing brackets since 2022.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
Oh,
Pretty
so
cool.
funny. So
Awesome.
funny. And yes, congratulations to that head coach because that's amazing. So let's get back on the track. No pun intended, pun intended. Is the new sprinter model one that has the elite range from 1 to the 4? For example, Mr. Curley, for example, Mr. Norman, so on and so forth. Is this the new model?
I need clarity on the question.
What type of clarity?
The new sprinter model, are we asking in general, like, will the future of elite level sprinters just have that range period? Or are we saying that the new sprinter model, in the context of the best people on the planet running the 100, are going to be former or flirted with 400-meter cats?
Well, I mean, I think a sprinter is defined as somebody that runs all three, and I think that's, in my opinion, anyway.
Fair
So,
enough.
but who's behind the question here that can explain how they want to do? How we supposed to answer this question?
Yes, I'm asking for the spirit of the question.
I think the spirit of the question is, given what's going on, because at most times, right, the top dictates the bottom. So given what's going on up top, are we going to see more cross-pollinizations, right? Are we going to see more in the past, right? If you had a tall, relatively lanky sprinter, you know, it was a 2-4 kid, right? Are more of those kids going to be running the 100 as well? You know,
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
So what I'm asking is, like, are we going to? I think, like, to Sir Lucious's point, to be really good at any event in track and field, you need to be at least passable above and below. I think we all would agree with that. But the new crop seem to be far better than passable above and below, to the point where you're not sure which one's the best. Like, you look at Sharika Jackson's, you're like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at Fred Curley, like, you can't look. I don't think any of us could say which ceiling is higher for Fred, the 1, the 2, or the 4.
Oh, I could.
That would be interesting.
From a business perspective.
No, that's not what.
No.
No, sir. It is not about. We know. Look, he made the business decision.
Yes.
We understand that. I'm just talking about performance. So the question is basically, is what's going on in the pro ranks going to start changing what club coaches are doing with elite level high school kids, what college coaches are going to be doing with elite level college people, and as folks are coming out of college, are there going to be more explorations into multiple events? Because here, for the last almost 20 years, there's been a whole lot of single eventers.
Well, I mean, like, maybe I'm missing something, but like, when was there this model? Like, there's never been this model. Like, Carl and those guys didn't do this. I mean, like, some of those guys, like Quincy, started in the 1 and 2 and went up to the 4,
and never came back.
Dennis Mitchell was a 400-meter guy that came down, but like, we've never seen a model where somebody consistently ran all sprints. You know, to answer your question, it's not going to change anything anybody does at the high school level. I mean, you get in the junior high and the club ranks, you always see the kids running the 1, the 2, and the 4. Heck, some of them run the 8 and the 15 as well. You know, but I don't think there's not going to be a college coach out there or a high school coach out there going, "Oh, I got to develop this model of the 1, 2, 4 guy or girl." You know, I just don't see it happening. I mean, coaches are going to coach to their strengths. They're going to coach to what they've been coaching to. I think Fred's an outlier. You know, the boogeyman, maybe, as you call him. But I don't see that Fred is the new sprint type in this country. I'm still not convinced. Nobody knows what Michael Norman's going to do. But in the United States, the people with that skill set are Fred, Michael, Bednarik, who may never run another 400 in his life. So if you take those three guys off the table, who you got left?
Sharika Jackson.
He said in this country.
Okay.
He did say in this country.
I agree with
so on a planet with billions of people, you got four.
Because I don't think that any of us would say that the current Olympic champion of the 400 on the women's side isn't doing all three. She may not go out.
She ran 100 once. She ran it well. She ran it once. She ran it once.
Well, I look at it like this. The top 10, okay, 100, 200, 400 combinations are literally 3 different eras. And it's fascinating, okay? If you're starting from the past, you're talking about Michael Johnson and Mike Marsh that are in that top 10 list. Then you're talking about Gay, Blake, Carter, Usain. Okay? Another era. And now you're talking about Norman, Curley, Bednarik, and Van Niekerk, who's not from the US.
Right.
So there are more now, right? There are more that are running together now.
That's why the question was asked.
Yeah,
right? Because it seems like it's.
So maybe I misunderstood the question, because like I'm under, like, I don't see any of these guys. Okay, because somebody goes and runs 100 every now and then for training purposes. Like Michael Johnson ran 10-0, right? Like, but he ran it like sparingly at best.
Yeah.
So is the question, or do you think we're going to see people compete in all 3 of these at a high level all the time, or we will always see somebody drop down from the quarter and go, run 100, or we always see a 100-meter person go run a 4. I don't think that's going to change. Right. I don't think you'll ever see anybody that's going to be trying to compete with them like the stuff that Curly's doing. Yeah. And let's see let's see what Fred's doing in 6 weeks. Yeah. Let's see if he's still up to these shenanigans in 6 weeks.
And that's why I if I understand Lucious's point of view, I think I agree with Lucious. We go back to a year ago, right? When we all looked at Fred and was like, dude, what are you doing? You're crazy. You're stupid. You're insane. Whatever your opinion was, because no one thought it was a good idea outside of him and his camp. Okay. There's not a lot of human beings out there in the world mentally built like Fred Curley who would even attempt a full-scale flip like he did. Now, I'm not just going to run the 100 for training. I'm going to go make this team and get a medal. Yeah. And I dare you to stop me. I don't see that being the new norm. I'm just not that not only can people not pull that off, I don't even think they're willing to attempt it. Now, it may make good business sense if you can pull it off. Yeah. But imagine how bad of a business decision that would have been if he tried it and failed. Because I'm pretty sure his contract is written in a way that stipulates he's supposed to get medals in the 400. Right. So if you step out of your lane, pun intended, and don't pull it off, you just might have committed career suicide. Yeah. So I don't think there's a lot of people willing to jump in that kind of fight. And because there's not, I don't think that you're gonna see a trend of this. I don't buy that.
The only reason why I feel like there's a possibility of it is like, I mean, we all remember a time where it was unicornish for people to desire to run 7 steps in the hurdles. And nobody ever in life would want to have your friggin' lead arm over your damn head. And then one dude runs 1280, and next thing I know, every high school coach in the country is teaching both of those things.
Different deal though, bro.
Yeah, I mean
that's a technical.
It's not a bad analogy. I'm just
also
guys. Okay, what I'm saying is this. Let's go backwards. Before Bolt, nobody would have put a 6'5" dude in the 100. The box didn't fit. Like, no, you should be running the 2 and the 4 with those long strides and yada yada yada. Like, I'm telling you this right now, if Tommy Smith came around right now, he'd be running the 1 and the 2, right? Because he had the foot speed and the leg length. And I'm saying, I think there's a lot. I think Bolt broke the mold for a guy like Fred to think he could run the 100, right? Because now the math that all of us wouldn't do, I don't mean us, but like, oh, they're too big, they shouldn't be running the 100, right? And they're all poor starters. It was all the nonsense that was always said, right? Now that mold has been broken and the math is different, like there's a bunch of 6'4", 6'5" kids that are running the 100. Maybe most of them shouldn't be. You got like 17 of them.
Oh my God.
What does that have to do with your question?
What it has to do with my question is, I think that there are more people out there who would have been 2-4 guys, or even just 4 guys and women, who I think their coaches are now going to be willing to, you run a fast enough fly 30, like I'm gonna put you in the 100.
Are these people?
You know what?
Because the way
the question was asked. The question was asked, is this going to happen?
The way the question was structured made it mean, okay, so are you asking, is the new trend going to be that the new sprinter is going to be people like Fred trying to do all 3?
Yes, that's the question. And your answer is no.
Absolutely not.
And the way you just started talking and getting into that, it sounded like a totally different question. Because now you're talking about size and stride lengths and stuff like that. So if you want to say,
no, he definitely went around the block.
Right.
No,
I didn't go around the block. I think that's the reason that the question came about.
No. I'm with you. I'm trying to follow you down around the block, if you will. If the spirit of what you're asking is Bolt breaks the mold, now here comes Fred, will the people at the lower divisions, collegiate sprinters and coaches, high school sprinters and coaches, take a new look at sprint events in general and say, hey, tall people can sprint too. Sure, I'll give you that. But the question was originally framed as, will this be a new mold at the top? And I'm like, no, hell no. And for the record, because Trayvon and them ain't about to start running 44 lows. No. Because there was a trend there for a while. It was like, Carl and those guys did it. Tyson did it. Tyson will step out there.
Bolt did it. Even Asafa Powell tried to run a 400, which was very ugly, right?
It wasn't pretty.
That was a trend amongst that group to have them go out and try to prove they can run a fast 400. But I think that just goes back to the JS statement. You can't run the rounds if you can't go around the track, right? But I don't think there's no one out there that I can remember that's doing what Fred did, or what Fred's doing and what he did. So do I think there's going to be a trend? Absolutely not. Do I think that you're going to have somebody pop every now and then, but there's going to be no trend. No.
Did anyone see Thompson Harrah's 400 over the weekend?
No, I missed that.
No, I actually didn't.
You need to go watch it.
What was it? 300 and then a death march?
Word, just go watch it.
Well, you got to tell us where to find it, sir.
Oh, I mean, just look it up.
It's on YouTube, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be easy.
Go look it up.
I'm calling 300 and then a death march. That's what I'm calling.
Well,
go see it.
Before everyone pushes pause to go find the video, so let's address this last jaw-dropping part, and jaw-dropping for other reasons.
Oh boy.
I mean, the slap heard around the world and seen on everyone's screen. And I just saw a new video of it today too. Very interesting.
I'm gonna go first because I know if I go last, I'm gonna be mad by the time we get to me. So I wanna be clear-headed when I speak. Look, as you rise in stature, you're often you're often faced with the rules of the new you versus the rules you grew up with. And most people, most of us, we side with the rules of, you know, of the ascension as opposed to where you grew, you know, where you grew up from. So you're supposed to grow and mature and get better and not do things that you would have done from whence you came. Clearly that went out the window in this particular case. If given any moment of clear mind, like one nanosecond to take a breath and ask, Will, if someone tells a joke, not even a, you know, not even a particularly harsh joke, but tells a joke about Jada that you don't like, should you A, B, C, or D, slap the fire out of them on worldwide TV? If given even a nanosecond to think about his answer, there's no chance he picks D. But when you're in a place, and I don't know where he's at mentally, but clearly he was in a place of reactionary vigor. Man disrespected his wife. That ain't happening. Walks up on the stage, disrespects man. I know he's human and we all make human mistakes. I do. I completely get it. I'm still flabbergasted at the fact that it happened. It took me 2 days to actually accept the fact that it really happened, that it wasn't staged. Because I'll be honest with you, both those two are really good actors. And that thought kept fighting in my head that this ain't real. We're all being duped. This is a way to get a community that doesn't usually talk about the Oscars to talk about the Oscars. Like I heard all the, right? But after seeing that video enough times, I'm like, nope, that really happened. He was really mad. He really lost his mind. And seeing Chris Rock's complete and utter befuddlement, you know, the more times you watch it, you can just watch Chris Rock afterwards and you can see like he's talking to people in the back of the stage like, I have no idea what the hell just happened. I will just say this. I'm left with this because I don't want to steal all the points, and I really want to hear what you guys have to say. I am shocked, flabbergasted, and honestly, proudly amazed at Chris Rock, because Chris Rock is from the very same neighborhood and from the very same time as me. He is from Bed-Stuy. And where we grew up, I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much money you may jeopardize. If a man slaps you in public in that fashion, you probably die trying to kill him. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I just need people to really understand, like, he made an incredible joke immediately after being smacked. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He said that was the greatest night in television history. Mm-hmm. Look, bro, I promise you, if it's me, and I love to believe that I have restraint and such, and Sir Lucious and I have talked about this 15 different times, there's no shot that I don't tackle that dude. No shot. And I think even if given, like, you know, the clarity of 50 plus years, I still would have at least said immediately with a live mic, y'all know I'm gonna whoop his ass when the show's over, right? Like there's just no way I could have let it go the way he did publicly. And for that, like, look, I give Chris Rock, like, look, he should get an Academy Award for that. That's my take.
Oh no, you've been rubbing your hands all day, bro. I'm definitely not going before you. So if the governor's going, then I'm going last. I want to hear this.
I wasn't even tuned in. So everything that I saw came after it had already happened. And I played it back. I'm like, okay, this is scripted. Played it back again. No. And then, you know, so the version I saw was the US TV version that was blanked out. Then I watched the Japanese version. And so you're talking about a sequence of events where a joke is made, a man gets up, strides onto the stage, slaps another man, turns around, goes and sits down, and then twice shouts out, "Keep my wife's name out of your effing mouth." And it was like, okay, this is temporary insanity. This is a period in time where nothing else exists. And it was like, for that split second, I don't know if Will Smith realized where he was or what he was doing. And he sat there and it was like, all right, carry on. A couple minutes later, he wins the award. He's on stage, he's crying, he's effusive, he is apologizing. I mean, and of all movies, okay, he is playing a man that spent his entire life protecting his daughters, his wife. And it was like, so I mean, the way I think, right? I'm like, so did this happen in direct relation with the role that this man just won an Oscar for? Like, what are we watching here? So I don't know. I absolutely hate this, because this is, the statement that he mentioned in his acceptance speech, where Denzel said to him, "In your moment of your highest moment, the devil is coming for you." And I'm just going, holy cow, right? This is as high as this man has ever gotten. This is the ultimate sign of respect in this industry. And he will not be remembered for that. He will be remembered for his actions. And it's poetic. It is something that is going to follow him, for the rest of his life. And it's sad. It's a sad commentary. And I'm still processing it. So, that's all I have to say about it. I mean, I don't know what else to say, really.
So, Lucious, you would like me to go now?
Absolutely would.
Okay. I'm rubbing my hands and I got jokes and everything, but there's nothing actually funny about any of this to me. Full context, full transparency. I am a lifelong fan of Jada Pinkett. And, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is one of those shows, that I kind of grew up on, right? I've always had the utmost respect for the arc of the career that is Will Smith. I'm a fan of comedy. Chris Rock is amazing. I think he's a, all-time great comic. He's not in my top 5, but like, he's on the list, right? So to watch this play out in real time, because I am a huge Hollywood fanatic. So I was watching live. To watch that play out live, even with the thing that let me know it was real was the fact that they cut the mics. Because I was like, what? It looked staged in the second, because let's be clear, because I like facts. Will Smith thought that joke was hilarious. He was mouth open wide, laughing out loud at the joke. Jada didn't find it funny, which I find puzzling because there are videos out in the world just preceding the events where Jada is openly talking about her little alopecia situation and says, quote, all I can do about this is laugh. What else can you do? Okay. This is incredibly sad for me because I have to turn in my fan card of both of these people, of Jada and Will. And trust me, I've defended Jada at all costs. This is a Shakespearean tragedy for Will Smith because this is his legacy now. It just is. For all the good works he's done, for all the things that he is out in the world attempting to promote, this is the way he will ultimately be remembered. And it's sad because what I witnessed on that stage was the ultimate beta move, weak, cowardly move that I've ever witnessed in real life from a male. It was beta all the way. And then for him to get the award, which I predicted, like people, phones are blowing up. I'm sitting there texting like, did you see that? Yeah. I was like, watch what's going to happen. He going to win this award for Best Actor because he clearly was that this year. He made it 10 times worse by going on that stage and gaslighting America. Because make no mistake about it, that's exactly what that whole speech was. Grade A level, pure definition of gaslighting. Bro, you're not Richard Williams. You weren't up there defending your wife. Your wife was in no danger. She was irritated. She was irritated. And you thought it was funny. That man went up there and gaslit America from the stage with his crocodile tears and all this. The speech was his best acting performance I've ever seen. It really was. That man, if you read Will's book, and I haven't read it, but I've listened to half of it. The opening thing that he talks about in his book is he literally says, all my life I felt like a coward. And he goes into this story about how when his mother was being beaten by his father at a young age, he never did anything about it. He never stood up for her. He never did any of that. So your whole life you felt like a coward. And then in this moment, you turned into a bully. Will Smith is 6'2", 200 something pounds. Chris Rock is a little ass dude. You walked on that stage and assaulted a black man in front of millions and millions of people, and then turned around and looked and had your chest pumped out and walked back to the seat like you did something worthy, like you did something cool, like you're the guy. That was a clown, beta, cowardly act. And bravo to Chris Rock because he's a better man than I ever will be.
Oh.
There's no way, and I know I have composure. I would have curb stomped Will or done my best to try. And my issue is this. If you want to get into the whole joke thing, look, there's two ways to look at that joke. It was a super surface level joke and a very obvious one because the girl sitting in the front row with a bald head. The joke is about the movie G.I. Jane, played by Demi Moore, right? It was a very easy surface level joke that anybody could have made and any comedian probably would have made because it was easy. Jimmy Kimmel makes that joke. Jimmy Fallon makes that joke. Will Smith doesn't walk up stage and slap him. Doesn't happen. Or you could look at the joke like I see it, which was Chris Rock is a comic genius. Who is Demi Moore? Demi Moore is a woman who cheated on her husband at the time with a younger man. So if you want to go sinister and diabolical about the joke, that was some next level petty brilliance by Chris Rock. Either way, Will Smith has been participating in his own emasculation for a really long time. And now you in your feelings and you mad at the whole world. So you go up there and do that to Chris Rock? Nah, bro. I'm sorry. I'm off the wagon. I'm off the train. Jada is, oh God. She pushed that button in 3 seconds with a look. With a look. And if that is the state of the world that Will Smith is currently living in, he's just a beta male who I have no respect for as a man. Good actor. But I've known dudes like that my whole life, and I've never had any respect for him. And he showed the world who he is today. And I can't rock with it. So, the hell with it. Tragic.
Well, I find all that interesting. Some of the things that you said in your journey around the block were things that I've read and heard in social media. Your comment that if it was a white comedian, he wouldn't have hit him. I find that interesting because nobody knows. It could have been red, white, pink, purple, or brown. I don't think there's any way you can say he wouldn't have hit whoever it was. Will Smith is not the first, nor is he the last man that has gotten a look from his wife or a significant other and then went to her rescue. Wasn't the first, he won't be the last. The thing that I have been appalled by is that somehow this has become about race. And, our race is always judged by things that we do in public. But no other race is.
Yeah.
Because if Will Smith is a definition of a Black man that's a coward because what he did was, as you say, cowardly, then what does that speak about all the white men that were at the Capitol, right? So at some point in time, we got to stop.
Wait, hold on.
Picking.
Redo that connection for me, because that's not what I said.
I didn't say that's what you said.
Okay.
I didn't mention your name. I didn't mention your name. Okay. So at the end of the day, for me, I'm gonna choose compassion here because nobody knows what that man's been through. Nobody knows what he's what he may be continuing to go through.
Oh yes, we do. He's been doing it in public.
Okay. Nobody knows exactly what the man goes through. Okay. As George Williams loves to say, you can't know the play if you're not in the huddle. And not everybody's in that huddle. As we have all been talking about for the last year or more, mental issues are real. And I'm gonna agree with the governor that clearly there was a very mental moment there. Mm-hmm. So again, I'm gonna say this clear, loud, scream, not about race. Again, other races are never defined by the idiocy, the things that they do publicly, right? And I'm not going to allow anybody in my presence anyway to define the African-American race by what Will Smith did. I am not going to choose to bash Will Smith and make him a coward or any other things that people have called him because he had a weak moment in his life, because each of us is better than the worst thing we've ever done in our life, okay? I don't see why this is going to define him. I don't believe that. Will people talk about it a lot? They will. But the man's had a brilliant career. But this one moment is not going to overshadow every good thing he's ever done in his life. I just find that very hard to believe. So at the end of the day, am I backing Will for what he did? Absolutely not. But I'm also going to have some compassion for the man because he had a weak moment. We have all had them. I know I have, and done things that I regretted later. I know good and damn well I've gone to my wife's rescue and sometimes going, I probably could have handled that better. And so as a man, and who knows that we are humans and we make mistakes, then I'm just going to be compassionate and pray that Will gets better and that it doesn't happen again. To those out there who, said, I would have did this to him, I would have did that to him, you're not Chris Rock. There are 5 of us on this screen. All 5 of us would have handled that situation differently. So you can never say what he or she would have or should have done. You can talk about what you would have done or think you would have done anyway, but you can't talk about what somebody else should have done. Chris Rock handled it the way he wanted to handle it. Kudos to him. Mm-hmm. So I would like people to get off of this train of what Chris Rock should have done, calling Will outside of who he really is or who you perceive him to be, and have some compassion for the man. He had a weak moment. Okay. And it's that one moment, if you or anybody else wants to define Will Smith for that one moment in his life, shame on all of you. Because like I said, each of us is greater than the worst thing we've ever done.
Yeah, I agree with that sentiment, sure. But the greatest moment Will's an actor. He's been working his whole life for the moment he was meant to have on that stage at that event. His whole career, Will is a brilliant actor. He's been doing many movies that a lot of people say he should have got this for, he should have got that for. The highest moment of his career, he took away from himself. He did that. And the Denzel quote is brilliant.
But see, again, we want to paint the scenario, okay?
What do you mean?
You are entitled to your opinion, Clyde. You are.
Okay.
But you have no idea what goes on that man's head.
No,
okay?
let me be clear.
And again, if you feel like that, okay, he messed up the moment, of course he did. But you nor anybody else that's not inside that circle, that's not inside his head, will ever really know what triggered that.
Let me be clear. I agree with you on that. I'm here to tell you that I don't care.
Okay, then
I don't care at all.
We should move on. Then we should move on.
The Denzel quote, I don't care what triggered it. I don't care what the excuses are. I care about the actions.
Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Would you really sit there and tell me you've never done anything in your life that you immediately regret it? I shouldn't have done that.
Exactly. I've never done that.
Okay, because you know what? I'm sure there's things that you've done that he's never done.
Don't know.
Like we shouldn't judge other people.
I'm judgy wudgy right now. I'm good with the judgment. I'm here to judge.
You always have been.
I am good.
I'm sorry. Time out. Did that man just say judgy wudgy?
Yes, I did.
So
Sex in the City reference.
I think personally we should move forward. I don't think we should spend a lot of time, bashing a man because he had a bad moment in his life. That's just me.
That's cool. You haven't bashed him yet. I'm here.
I'm not going to bash him. I know, of course you are.
The governor. You threw out the Denzel quote, which was a brilliant quote and very apropos. Denzel said that to that man during the break while he was trying to get the man to come to his senses. And what did Will Smith? Yes. And what did Will Smith do? Will Smith took that quote up on stage and inserted it into his speech as if to refer to Chris Rock as the devil in the situation. No.
That's not what he
No. The devil that is toying at Will Smith and his heart, if that's the way you see it, is most likely in his own household.
Can we please move on?
No, I just want to know, can we all agree that if that was Chew, that she would have absolutely throat punched him? That's all I want to know. Do we agree that Chew's response?
I'd like to ask you a question. I would like to ask you a question.
Okay, I'm not going to agree to that because only Marissa knows what she would have done in that
But
situation.
she's right here.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I think I know you decently well. You and me are from the same area, kind of grew up in the same rules. How in your life, in your social life, have you typically responded to beta male behavior?
It gets squashed.
There it is.
What is
that? She understands where I'm at with this. She gets it.
What is?
She understands.
So, but it's different.
One more time.
I think it's
that
different.
man is a simp. He is the ultimate. He's not the definition of bad black male behavior. He's the definition of a simp. That's what he is.
So here, 2 cents, and then we'll move on. It does get squashed, right? Like you literally just give him and then you just like hand in the face, push it down, whatever it is. But I'll say, in that forum, when I'm on national TV doing this grandiose thing and he's hosting and whatnot, I don't know that I would have responded to do the same, and to put it in Chris Rock's perspective, and then flipping the other side, having that outburst and that reaction. I guess it depends on the very moment, like how vulnerable I'm at that moment as to how big it gets. And so that part. So, I mean, I've definitely, like, my version of Will Smith's reaction is someone pissed me off the right time at the right thing with the right word, and I threw keys at them. And I'm not a throw keys kind of person, But I've also had someone blow up at me, and I'm like, okay, are you done? And that was it, you know, and not even like a sassy, are you done? It was like, are you done? So I can help you get back to a place that I know you were at.
Just
So,
understand, as we get
but I've also
further and
sucked
further,
somebody, so.
as we get more and more days away from the actual event, more information continues to leak out. And video leaked out today from a different angle of someone with a cell phone camera sitting behind Lupita Nyong'o, who was sitting directly behind both of them. Jada was laughing after Will slapped Chris. She was not even upset or hurt or in distress. She thought his actions were funny. The one person in the venue that thought that was funny and knew it was real in the moment thought it was funny. Y'all got to understand, man. It's wrong at every
please
level.
explain. Okay, look, nobody on these tiles has said that he was right. Okay, but see, I'm gonna say this, and I'm done. And I mean, I'm done. Right? We need to move the fuck on, or I'm done. Okay, we have to stop with this incredible nonsense of destroying a person because they had a bad moment. Because we've all had them. Okay, the man had a bad moment, and now he's the worst person on the planet. I don't get it. Okay, I don't care who videoed what and who was laughing and who wasn't. Okay, the man has been in the spotlight for years, doing great things in his career. He has one bad moment, and now he's the worst person on the planet. I don't get it.
No,
and I don't want to get it. And I would really like to move on.
He's far from the worst person on the planet.
I really can't do the bashing of the man anymore tonight. I can't. I'm on rapid fire on him. Yeah, fire at me, please.
Vladimir Putin's way closer to the worst person on the planet.
We need to leave Will Smith alone. Because trust me, everybody on this panel, well, 3 of us for sure, myself included in those 3, I have witnessed us do things not to that level. I haven't seen the governor and I haven't seen you, but I've seen both of you other 2 at your best, and I know I can be one out. Okay? Because I can promise you like this. Yeah. So let's stop.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Right. I'm totally confused with that one.
No, I was kidding. I absolutely know what he's talking about.
I literally have no idea. So post show, I'd love to hear that one. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and put Sir Lucious in that rapid fire and see him move some matrix moves. I think I got some pretty good ones, but I'm sure that's up for debate every time after.
It'll be suspect. It always is. It always is.
Never starts that way. Never does. All right, sir. What is a family tradition that you hold on to tightly?
Family tradition. What's that? Jeez. A family tradition. I mean, probably the biggest family tradition we have is the Christmas, festivities. The opening gifts the night before Christmas, and then getting up early the next morning and opening the rest of them. That's tradition we hold on to around.
Got it. That's a good one. Good one.
Yeah.
When was your last moving violation? Like your last ticket?
2010? No. How old is MJ? 2001.
Wow.
It's been 20. MJ was a baby last time I got a ticket.
Were you going too fast?
Oh yeah.
That cop has since been fired and removed from the force.
No. Like I got this ticket in Georgia. Yeah. Coming back from Angela's grandma's house. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get away fast enough.
I'm holding fast. You just, yeah, I'm not going to say it. You didn't say, do you know who I am? You didn't say that.
Yeah.
I was in Georgia.
They know who you are in Georgia.
Yeah, but they probably gave me 2 tickets.
Lamar knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, did you want to be a coach when you grew up?
I wanted to be a lawyer when I was a kid. want to be a lawyer.
I see
And in a
that.
lot of ways, I am one in a lot of ways. Right?
I see that. Right. All right. And forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, because I always say it differently whenever I try to read it. Are you in the Bulls Hall of Fame? Bulls Hall of Fame, the high school that you coached at. Bulls.
A what?
Holes.
Bulls.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I say Bulls.
View holes?
You holes.
What? View holes.
So
Actually,
first off,
it's pronounced buck
there-
holes, but it's,
There are two different schools there. There's a Bowles and there's a Buchholz.
Oh,
the
the
Bulls,
one that
Bulls
you-
He's only
is
been-
in Jacksonville.
I was like, he's only been associated
Oh,
with
I
Buchholz.
see. Okay, my fault. My
Yeah.
fault. My
And
fault. The one that
I-
you coached at.
I am not in their Hall of Fame. I'm not.
Interesting.
Mhm.
All right, we're gonna have to do a petition on that one. What is your meat day snack?
Oh man, like if I have it my way, it's the Uncrustables. But I don't very really get my way. So most times it's just like I'm a cashews guy. I love cashews.
Got it. Is there anyone that you haven't met yet that you are waiting to meet?
Man, I mean, there's
Will Smith.
people that I would like to meet.
For the
Thank you
record,
for
he
that.
said that, not me.
I know.
And he
Soon.
unmuted himself to
Soon.
say it.
Too
I know.
soon, man.
in,
Too
in
soon.
the middle of his stuff in his face. The people that I haven't met that I would really like to meet, I would really like to meet Michael Jordan.
Mm,
And I would really, the guy I really wanted to meet, but I don't know if I was trying to get in contact, find a contact from him about 2 years ago. It's a guy named Condrich Holloway. That was a starting quarterback for Tennessee back in the middle of the 70s. You know, breaking racial barriers. I just wanted to have a conversation with him. So those are the two people I'd love to have a conversation with.
well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Which event win? So like you've won the event will always give you a little giggle inside.
Oh, it's 4x1. Oh, it's 4x1.
Mm.
Yeah.
That one's personal. I mean, it's just like my two favorite events from the chaos standpoint is the 4x1 and the high hurdles. That's why I love them so much, because it's just you live on the edge throughout the whole thing. You know,
That makes sense.
like you know you're watching the 4x1 and you're like pass the stick. You're watching hurdles, put your feet down, right? So
Okay.
those are my
Okay.
two. Yeah.
All right. Last one from me. Besides rings, what do you collect?
Oh,
Mm.
I
Mm.
like that.
Took away your
Go
eating
on.
out there.
Jordans.
So side note, I think it was at Nationals. I had intended to take a shoe pick with you and I forgot because we
Yeah.
had the same shoes, different colorways, but I was like,
Right.
dang it, I forgot. Anyhow,
We'll get them.
I know. All right, gentlemen, the floor is yours. You have to unmute yourself full mouth before you try to open it.
Since Lamar, okay. The Academy has decided to put Will under investigation for his actions. If
What are
they
we doing?
take away his Oscar, who should it go to?
You asking me that question?
Yeah, that's my rapid fire question.
Okay, so here's my answer to that. I don't watch that show. I haven't watched that show since I was a child. I could care less. I don't even watch movies like that. So
Denzel. Give it to Denzel for Macbeth.
I haven't seen Macbeth. So I couldn't
Gotta
give
see
it to
Macbeth.
him.
Gotta see Denzel do Shakespeare.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
See,
I gotta send y'all movie references.
Yeah, you have
What-
to
what
absolutely
if-
have to, because I'm a big time Denzel fan now. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Denzel did an incredible rendition of Shakespeare.
I mean, it's
What-
Denzel. I mean, of course he did.
What I think is amazing is like everybody's talking about Denzel doing Macbeth. They don't even like. Do y'all? This is the second Shakespearean role he's taken.
This is true.
He played the Moor.
Mhm.
It's true.
I'm sorry. I
Okay,
am
so-
a movie buff,
So
and I do watch lots of movies.
since I'm the one that's on rapid fire, my answer to that is I don't know because I don't watch movies like that.
Fair enough.
So you can try to convince me all you like, but I don't know.
Fair enough.
First off, I just want to say to the fan base out there, listen, when you have Garrett's popcorn sitting directly in front of you, it is humanly impossible to not eat it for over an hour. So yes, I did mute myself, and yes, I did eat popcorn on the show because I have Garrett's in this bowl, and y'all are mad that you don't. So anyway,
I don't know what that is.
I always try to be enlightening in my rapid fire questions with Sir Lucious because I, unfortunately, for most, am really close to the dude. So I know most of the answers to these things. So I'll try to ask entertaining questions that the rest of the world wouldn't really know. So I'll ask a good question. At least I think is a good question. What song did you dance with your wife to for your first dance at your wedding?
Ooh,
I have no idea.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't remember.
This is the dude that can remember Josh Walker's like high school 100-meter PB, and you don't remember what song you danced to?
You know, and I don't even know if she remembers, but I don't know. I'm gonna
That
find
is
out
whole-
for you now, though.
That's holistically unacceptable, and I will have to mute myself and ask another question after the governor.
All right. So you have been at the University of Florida for how long now?
My 27th year.
27th year. Okay. You have packed up bags and gone on trips at least 10 times a year. I mean, even if you add crossing, I mean, you're talking about 12 to 14 trips a year. Okay.
Mhm.
Can you remember the absolute worst trip that you've taken in your time at Florida with a team?
The worst trip. Okay, well, you know, possibly the worst trip was the trip we took to Fayetteville, Arkansas, and we had to sleep in the Atlanta airport on the floor. And you know me, I travel in a suit, so that was really comfortable. And I slept on a table that night.
Now, wait a minute. The Atlanta airport has a hotel in the airport, sir. Why you ain't just do that?
Because they didn't have enough rooms for all of us.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure for all of y'all. I'm just saying why you in the suit didn't go.
Oh no.
Leave the assistants to it. And
No.
get the bag.
I you know, I happened to have a friend at the airport. She told me there's this big boardroom. There was plenty of spaces on the floors. That the floor wasn't actually bad. It's just that the team took up most of the floor space. So I slept on the table.
Wow.
Oh, that's you're a good leader, sir. Just understand, Huff would have been in Terminal A or whatever it is in the hotel. Like, I'll let y'all.
I think it's
that
the T terminal now. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Arkansas
That
trip
is
where everybody
absolute
got-
hogwash.
Was that the Arkansas trip where everybody got snowed in? Was that one?
No.
Okay.
Because like we got there,
Okay.
but like now, because the crazy thing was we got there, my bags didn't get there. Like, so I had to go shopping and buy all new clothes and stuff. And then we got back to games where our bags were there waiting for us, which is magical. I don't know how that happened, but
Awesome.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So you have another question? Knows nothing, or are we good?
I do. Things you've never done in your life yet, and you only get to have one of them ever happen. Bowl of 300, coach a gold medalist. Actually, I'm sorry, that's happened. Duh. Hey man, I tried.
This is why you only get one and not two.
It's late.
Look,
It's late.
late.
It's late.
I want to eat my popcorn. Clearly,
I'm like, wait a minute, haven't I coached the gold medals before?
yeah, you more than one.
And the 300 thing, I've just come to the realization that if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's done. Like I'm not chasing that. I'm not chasing. I feel like that's like a dog chasing his tail. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. If it's meant to happen, it'll happen. If it doesn't, hey, I'm just gonna go and have fun. Because I had a good friend of mine, bowled 289 about a month and a half ago. He hadn't broken 200 since. Because every night he's like, I got to bowl 300. I said to him, so the night when you bowl 289, were you thinking about 300? He goes, of course not. I'm like, hey, that's why you bowl 289. So he goes in there I'm bowling 300 tonight. He's like 190 something every time now. So yeah, good job, bro.
yeah.
All right. Well, that was a good one to end on. Was sincerely. So we'll wrap up quickly, not quickly, with heartbeat props. Just giving some recognition, some lift up, some shining light to some people who need it, who deserve it. You know what? I'll go first. This isn't someone, I don't know, it's not a heartbeat prop per se, but maybe just a little boost up. Recently here in the last couple of weeks, but specifically last week, social media has gotten a little spicy with the words that coaches are starting to use, topics, finger pointing, things of that nature. And I specifically am saying coaches because that's who I am specifically talking to, not people in general. But to me, the indicator to that is because we're all getting a little tired, right? We've completed indoor, we're going to outdoor. At this point, we've hit the height of our travel and it's still going. And so we're being nitpicky at things that we see, at things that are being said. So I am here lifting you all up to say, take a breath, to take a step back, to stop reacting, and to enjoy what we do, because we love what we do. We love the student athletes we work with. We love all these things that are happening. We don't need to nitpick them, read them and move on. They are what they are. Let people think what they want to think, but find the joy in all of it, that we all get to coach these wonderful, diverse athletes, whether they're diverse in talent, diverse in personalities, or whatever it is. Just rejoice in it. Take a breath, smile at it, and keep scrolling.
I don't
Well
know.
said.
I'll go next. We are celebrating 50 years of athletics here at the University of Florida. And I think most of the world knows that we won our the second NCAA indoor championship in school history here. And I want to give heartbeat props to the female coaches who were before me, Ms. Carol Thompson, Ms. Lacey O'Neill, and Coach Bev Kearney, who actually won the title, the first title we ever won here indoors in 30 years ago. They blazed the trail. When they were doing this, they faced a lot more obstacles than I currently face. And if not for them and their hard work, we might not have a women's track and field program at the University of Florida. So our pre-props goes to those three wonderful ladies, and I hope that they're all doing well. I'm sure none of them will see this. Maybe somebody will chuckle about it. So, yeah.
Lamar, I need help. You're the EP.
I am.
Should I do heartbeat props or petty heartbeat props?
I mean, there's absolutely no question you should do petty heartbeat props because you're petty.
All right. So my heartbeat props this week go out to the state of Florida. I take a lot of shots at the state of Florida, usually in jest. But two incredibly positive things happened in the state of Florida this week. One, from a track and field perspective, it was announced that starting next year, the state of Florida is going to move to 400-meter hurdles for high school athletes.
Yep.
Bravo. Thank you, whoever is responsible for that. Standing ovation.
And let's hope it spreads like
Yes, yes, spread like Florida COVID, please.
yes.
Oh my God.
Everyone
There it is.
in the country. Spread that.
You see how that just went
Spread
left?
that.
You see how that just
Number two, it was announced today, more positivity from the state of Florida, that Bruce Arians, who single-handedly has done more to promote the plight of Black coaches in the NFL, has done his next step. He is stepping, quote unquote, aside or stepping upstairs, moving in, to the executive level to clear way for Todd Bowles, who has just been announced as the new head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So props to Bruce Arians for doing that. And then because it's Florida, there has to be a negative, right? Whoever that child is that assaulted the miler in the high school meet, I hope he's in jail. And if he's not in jail, y'all better find him and put him in jail and charge him as an adult for assault, because that was insane. Hashtag Florida.
Oh,
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and and this is pretty polarizing, I think. But I've thought about this, and when it actually happened, I had a moment. So my heartbeat props go out to the men of the University of Texas track and field. And what I want people to understand is that those men that won the national indoor title, and I've had time to think about this, their names are forever etched in the history books of the University of Texas. The fact that they're the first to win any title for the University of Texas in men's track and field. I mean, it's all at the same time, like, what? As well as, wow, right? And whether or not, they follow this up outdoors or whatever, their legacy is now sealed. And I mean, I spent my collegiate career looking to knock Texas off their perch. I was little old Rice, and I loved it, absolutely loved it. And, but, I have to give respect where it's due. And, I think for a lot of alums, Texas alums, that burden, that they've lived with, because trust me, it is there. It's taken off their shoulders now. They can now say that they have finished their mission. So that's my heartbeat props.
Well said, sir.
I like it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Like, I've thought about this heartbeat props probably for like 6 days, and I've tussled back and forth, and I settled on probably what most people are gonna say is a cop out and probably cheesy, because they don't really know me and they don't know that I don't really do cop outs or cheesy. What I'm gonna say is like truly heartfelt, and it's how I feel. My heartbeat props go out to the people on these tiles, because this show has become a whole lot of things that none of us ever intended for it to be. All of them good. But I think we've taken on a role and a responsibility that none of us ever thought we would. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I've had 5 different people say to me that during this pandemic, that they feel as if our show saved their lives. Now, I think that's, I don't know, that's far too high praise in my own brain, but I'm not going to take anybody else's words for anything other than gospel. But I will say this, I will not say that this show has saved my life, but I will without question, you know, share my underbelly side enough with the rest of the world and say that this show definitely is one of the pillars of my life. And it has created a certain amount of calm and structure and sameness that I look forward to every week. And I actually do, it's taken a while for people to convince me of this, but I actually do feel like this show is important and what we do matters. And I couldn't imagine doing this with any other people, any other way. And at this point in time, I can't imagine doing my own life without doing this show. So you all have lifetime contracts. And hopefully none of you want to quit anytime soon. But I do have to second one thing that Coach Chu has brought up with us. We do need to get with Coach Cheek and get him to redo our intro because there are 5 of us.
He will be happy to do it. I'm saying
absolutely.
Okay, so then you've just been given that job, Clyde. Get a hold of Coach Cheek, see if he can rework an additional verse and get the governor his props. Cannot change the beat. Cannot change.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, I don't know about y'all, but I'm gonna tell y'all this. Again, here's a little factoid underbelly of mine. I watch most of the shows, and I cannot watch the show and I cannot listen to the show without listening to the entire intro music.
Well, okay, so full disclosure for the audience. Cheek made the beat for us. It's him rapping on the thing. I'd say about a year in, he sent us another one.
Yes, he did.
And we were going to do it.
And we all like it.
And listen, it's not like it wasn't good, because it was good. But if you watch Power, you remember when 50 made the decision to change the Power intro music, and the world was like, that is trash. So I got you. We can rework the lyrics, but no, we ain't gonna.
Yeah, we can absolutely add. We can add new lyrics. Hell, he can do all new lyrics if he want to. We ain't changing the beat, Playboy.
Oh my God. All right.
Oh boy.
On that, right now, I guarantee you he's laughing. He is laughing.
Sure.
So
For sure.
Anyhow, well, thank you so much for everyone joining us for this small amount of time. Not small at all. Happy traveling, Sir Lucious. Best wishes at Florida, or hosting Florida Relays this weekend. And I know, right?
You didn't even see me do it. I'm gonna do it again.
Oh my goodness. With that said, have a great
man.
evening, everyone. Safe travels, best marks. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
When the lights come on, the road just get to running. When the lights come on, opponents smash the plumbing. Heard you like it warm, hot, knife the butter. Truth hit them hard, knock them off that rebuttal. Tsunami, tidal wave to your puddle. Tough love, punch you in the arms, little brothers. Athletics, double LC, there's no others. Track and field's pacing, we'll peel to go further. Hey, Wally, Coyote, it's road runners. Feels like you know us, you've been with us the whole summer. If not for this quarantine, these 4 corners wouldn't be here, but we here, so start learning. You gotta earn your stripes, gotta get your scars. Show you how to fight, but show us who you are. You lack experience, but still you wanna talk. And who is actually talking to you? Circle's kinda small. Heads prevail when the backbone's strong. Gotta keep it coming, no, it won't last long. Pass or fail, then sell the sad song. And if you don't check yourself, then that's wrong. Just trying to give you the real that you asked for. So why you keep cutting us off to ask more? We put it in slow-mo, but you fast forward. Athletics LLC, the task force.